Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh! Whoa! Oh, that was perfect!
Well, good morning, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Devin from Broken Enduro. Sorry you have to see my stupid face, but I've been getting a lot of questions about hitch carriers. So I'm a huge fan of hitch carriers particular because you can run them on your trucks, SUVs, RV, what have you. I've been running this one for a couple of years, but I found a new one, and it's way better. This one's actually broken now. So I bought it a couple years ago. I'm not going to say the name of it because I don't want to throw them under the bus, but the one that I wanted to get, which is the Switch Hauler, made by All Jacked Up Incorporated. They were completely sold out everywhere. Couldn't find one. I ended up finding this one online, and the big selling point for this one for me was that it's their heavy duty model and you're supposed to be able to carry two bikes. So there's an additional plate, it slides in, locks into place, you put two bikes on it, lift it up, it's supposed to be able to lift like 600 pounds. I had my bike on it and Brent, American Dirt Rider, his Beta 500 on it, and this would not lift the two motorcycles, and we were well under 600 pounds. So I reached out to the company. They said that it was probably a bad jack and I need to go buy a new jack. Not, we will send you a new jack because the jack that you have is not good. I ended up going out, buying a new jack. No thanks to them. Put the new jack on there. I put my kids' bikes on here, so a KLX 110 and a TTR 125. And this would not lift those two bikes either. So the whole system just doesn't work, and it's kind of rudimentary construction. Craftsmanship's kind of low. These little non-scratch skid plate things are just glued on. And I'll go over some other stuff on this too. One thing I did like about this whole system is that their mounting system is these long pins that lock down into the foot pegs, and then you just tighten these, and you don't have to it's like 15 pounds or something like that. You don't have to super crank these things down. And even with these loose, the bike isn't going to go anywhere unless it goes completely vertical, which it's not going to do while you're traveling. So I really liked this way to secure the bikes, but I had something happen with the front one, and there's a nut that's welded inside the frame that these little set screws work their way into. Something twisted in here and this bound up, and I ended up shearing off this other set screw back here. So short of drilling it out, retapping it, this whole thing is dead in the water. Yeah, so not super impressed with this. So the systems are cool because you just load up your bike and then jack them up. One thing that I did notice, and I'll point it out with the other one, is that where this bottle jack connects, there's nothing keeping the bottle jack itself into the little groove here. So if you're going to load your bike and you get caught on the foot peg or something like that, and this raises up, the jack falls back, and then this is no longer connected, so you have to go through, lift it up, make sure it's back in its little welded pocket, and then go from there. So that's a thing. But once it is in its little pocket, bike's loaded up, go through. I'll speed this up. Lock pin in place. Done. Ready to go. Another downside of this one and the difference between the switch hauler is that storage for this thing, this is it. Like, you're stuck with this thing. And it's heavy, and there's nowhere to put it. So, with the switch hauler, this is pretty much all of this comes assembled in the box, just like this. I'm not going to go through and set this nut, but typically, this bolt. But it works off of a bolt system to keep it from wobbling. Once you torque that down, like, this thing stays pretty solid. So from here, you have a flat platform for your carrying bike, and that's it. There is a bolt that locks it in place, and a pin and cotter pin that slide through the back. To keep the two sections together. So when this thing's apart, it can be stored up on a shelf, up against the wall in the garage, under your car, whatever you like. Much more convenient, much better design. This one has two different locking sections, two different locking pins. So the whole system itself is a lot tighter, I noticed. Another thing that's cool is with this one, your handle to raise and lower is actually stored inside the frame of the carrier with a pretty decent magnet. And I called them and talked to them and asked, like, if I can store this thing in here while I'm traveling down the road. And he said that as long as they've been making these, they've only sold 3 handles. 2 of them were theft, and 1 of them someone left it on the back of their truck and then drove away. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, same thing. Release the pressure of the bottle jack. That thing comes down. Load up your bike. These are a thicker, like, rubber skid plates that are actually riveted on, so they're not going to be coming off. And what is also really cool about this one is that this is the 3.5-inch drop. So I could open my tailgate. The other one, I cannot open my tailgate. And if I'm not there babysitting it and someone else goes to open my tailgate, it's going to put the top of that big old steel frame right through the bodywork of the truck, which sucks. All right, I'm going to show you guys some close-up shots of this thing and let you see what I'm talking about. So there in the back, you see the set screw, which keeps that bottle jack in place so it won't fall back on you like on the other one. All of these surfaces that meet each other have like this nylon skid surface, so everything operates really smoothly. Nothing binds up. Like, the welds on this thing are crazy. It is stout. So there's a few of these companies that make this hitch style bike carrier. But as far as build quality goes, attention to detail, like, they are second to none. So that, and if you call them, they'll answer their phone and they will help you, which is not the case with this orange one. So you can kind of just see the difference in the construction, and it's, you know, it gets the job done, but for a little more money, this thing is a work of art. Anyway, guys, hope that helps with any questions you had about these hitch carrier moto carriers. And if you have any questions, hit me in the comments. I'm usually pretty quick to answer them back. And just so it's clear, like, Full disclosure, I bought both of these with my own money. No one sponsored, no one discounted, anything like that. I'm just, if you guys go out to spend money, like, I'd like to see you spend it once instead of that freaking hunk of junk. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Later!